Is it a weakness to be kind in dating? I want to talk to you about it because one of my clients told me this morning, like, I need to stop being kind. What do you think of it?
Kind. You know, I always like to have the idea of don't confuse my niceness with weakness.
Okay, love it.
And so having compassion, being kind, I think is something we need more of in the world, especially in the dating world, because everyone's so entitled and lost and sad. You have to have more compassion for it. But then again, you need to have more structure with it, if not a stronger system. So the kindness isn't so...
So what do you mean by structure?
Well, sometimes people are just being kind to be liked or accepted. That's stupid.
You don't like it, huh?
I hate it. It's not school anymore, guys. Come on. Who cares about popularity? You got to be honest with yourself. So I look at it where I think the structure, the foundation of your kindness is more of a... I don't want to call it a shield or a body armor, but more of like a protector of, you treating everyone with kindness because that's what you want. You project what you want. You manifest what you are. You date what you are. And so in that way, I feel like a lot of people take that for granted.
I see what you mean. Because my client, he was telling me like, look, Alex, every time I'm kind, I cannot enter in a relationship. So it's a young gentleman that is telling me every time I'm kind with a woman, she won't fall for me and she will tell me that it's too easy to get, too easy to be in a relationship with. So he started to tell me I need to be an asshole. And I told him, no, you don't need to be an asshole. But what you need to do is also to become a challenge a little bit. Sometimes you need to be a challenge to make people want you. And once they fall in love with you, then you can start being kind.
Well, I mean, you said, how old is he? Like young, right?
Yeah, he's like 35. He's
Okay.
not that so young.
That's not young. Oh, come on, buddy.
I'm young. I'm older than him, but I'm young.
No. That's not young. Well, overall, in life, that's not young. Overall, in the world, that is young. But in the dating world, that's not young. You should know, and I think the idea, hopefully, is listening. And then when you do, 5 stars, of course, appreciate that, is that, you trying to be too nice for someone to walk all over you is never attractive. I think firsthand, and he could say firsthand, if there was a time where a girl in his life that he has no attraction to, who's friend zoned, was too nice to him, no attraction, no challenge. So again, that niceness was coming off as weakness, if not basically a pushover.
So do you think that he should say no when a woman wants to see him? Do you think that he should, like play hard to get, not kiss at the first date? What would be your recommendation to be less kind?
Wow, I love this topic because I was talking about that earlier before we got on the podcast about atomic habits.
I know you love this book.
I mean, I'm hooked. An hour and a half in, I got 3.5 more hours. But what I love about the beginning chapters of it is how everyone is so fixated and goal oriented to the product or the outcome of something and not the system. And so he has a weak system because he's so focused on her, thinking he needs her.
Yeah.
He needs her validation and her attention. I would say he needs to reevaluate his system. Why isn't he more responsible and disciplined, if not ambitious about himself? Why is he so available? Why is he so easily ready to jump up and go to her anytime she calls? Because you're not busy enough? You're not excited enough? You're not disciplined enough? I don't know.
That's a very good question because the more I was talking to him, so he told me he met this girl. They hit it off, amazing connection. And she was talking about the fact that she still is in between with her ex.
Oh.
So they go to a pub. Yeah, that's not even the worst part.
Call me, buddy. I'm going to coach you, all right? Call me, right? You send me a message.
So they go to a bar, to a pub, and they were talking, him and her, and the ex comes. And she left him to spend the night with the ex. And you know what happened? 2 days after, he still texted her to say if she wanted to see him again. And I was like, no, this is way beyond being kind. And this is way too much. You cannot allow someone to enter in your life with this kind of foundation. So sometimes being kind or being nice, even if for a woman, it doesn't play at your advantage. Do you agree with that?
Wow,
I know it's a lot, huh?
No, I wish the best for him. I'm here to help you, buddy. I'm telling you, listen, I want to give you constructive criticism, but with a little bit of tough love. So please don't take anything in the wrong way or, me coming off insensitive. But the fact that, again, beginning stages of dating, okay, you know what? First date, second date, going to a bar, being cool, whatever. Not either you found out too late or you didn't want to pay attention to the fact that she's still their ex in some form. Right off the back, your system's weak.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already on an uphill battle to try to win somebody over with someone else in their life, trying to get them back or at least manipulate them, or, casual sex or conveniences or not, who knows what. And who knows how long were they together. The longer they were, the more history they have.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a bad selection right off the bat. So right there, you need to have a stronger filtering system in the beginning of stages of dating, especially at 35, where you want a good woman, not just a party girl.
So what do you recommend to your clients when they are looking for a better partner?
First of all, check out the dynamic of where they are in their life. How long have they been single?
That's number one. Please.
Number one.
I love it. I love it. Don't go with someone if their past is still open.
No,
that's
thank you.
For me, it's very
Oh,
important.
no, thank you. I don't care if they're separated, not divorced. I don't care if they haven't had sex in 2 years and they're still legally married. I don't care if whatever. If there's any situation of someone else still hovering over someone's life, guess what? He knows her more than you do. If anything, he deserves to be there in her life more than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you need to like it or accept it. The idea is to understand there's still something going on there, and I don't want to find out because it's a competition. I don't want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that dynamic is telling him not healthy. Not that she's a bad girl, but then again, she does what she does. So maybe she's a little...
But talking about those stories and talking to you, I realized something. When we like someone, we start to be a little bit too kind.
True.
When we feel like some excitement or some, not love, but attraction for someone, that's when we would say yes to everything. We won't calculate the situation when we need to be a challenge a little bit. So what would be your advice for the people that will listen? When they like someone, how can they be a little bit of a challenge and not too kind?
Having standards and boundaries, knowing where you're going with this.
Okay.
So you're not just going with the flow, if not getting swayed away quickly or persuaded or manipulated to some toxic situation. You have a system. I'm looking for someone who's open to kids. I'm someone who might be, religious or not, who might look into marriage, hopefully has been single for a little while. You really have to filter that all out like you do on a dating profile, what you're looking for within dating range, age range, small smoker, non-smoker, height, all those things. You need to actually apply that. Because this is your life, and the times you waste longer, if not spend longer in the wrong relationship or chasing the wrong person, set you back further from finding the right person. And actually, if anything, discourages you thinking, dating sucks. Yeah, call us. We'll help you there. Women stink. Yeah, call us. We'll help you there. We heard it all. And it's because a lot of people have weak systems. They have weak approaches, and they're bad selectors.
I love what you mentioned, because when I first started being a coach, it was in 2007. I was not in this philosophy. I was thinking if you talk about what you're looking for, you appear to be needy. But I changed my mind, guys. Like, we need to evolve with our society. We need to evolve with the results that we get with the clients. Sometime when you come and you know what you want, it shows a real value.
Yeah.
It shows that you are someone to respect. You are someone to chase, which would be very important.
Well, you look at it in a sense, we always talk about fitness. We're big, fitness guys. We love basketball and everything that happened with sports and football season coming up. Can't wait.
I know you love this. It's coming out in 2 months. And you're like,
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's not even training camp. I'm excited. No, because my fantasy football league is already talking trash. Love it. And so my point is that, like fitness, I always relate to that to my clients, is like you need, again, have structure in a way. And so when you go to the gym, people who don't commit or at least stay into the gym is because they don't know what they're doing or don't know how to stay to what they're doing. They have weak structures, weak systems. So you turn to a coach.
Okay.
That's where I think like this guy coming to you is a perfect idea for you to help him, guide him, not control him on what's best for him. And so I always say when people are listening to our podcast or seeing our videos on social media, and I hear the most, if not 99%, a negative complaint of or someone's opinion of the dating world, that means you haven't invested in yourself. You haven't looked in yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what, I'm not succeeding to where I want to go personally in the dating world. Maybe I want to hire a trainer to get in shape. Maybe I want to get a job to make money. Maybe I want to go to school to get education. But for some reason, people always look the other way. Hold on, relationship coach? Life coach? No, I got this.
Yeah, you know what? It's because they are doing everything right. When you look at the society, Disney, Hollywood, guys, you're doing whatever you should be doing, but it's not giving you the results. So maybe you have to refuse the education that you receive. Maybe you have to think outside of the box. That's why we are doing those videos. That's why you need to give us the 5 stars review. And of course, if you want us to help you, we will provide you some coaching sessions.
100%. I'll tell you right now. Give me a call. What's his name? Well, never mind. We'll keep that private.
That's my client.
But again,
I will help him. We can do something together.
I would love to, because again, it's just me and Alex, what we benefit the most is that we come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different races, different families, different countries. But we have a similar foundation of how we were raised towards like family and morals and values. Everything might not be in line, but we got the gist of it.
Sure.
And so when he gives advice, it comes from a great point of view, and mine's a similar point of view, but a different perspective. If anything, maybe I might bring more of an Americanized touch to it in a way. A single man touch to it. You're married, 3 hours of sleep. I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous. I'm jealous because obviously that's what I'm looking for.
I know it's what you're looking for, but when you get the 3 hours of sleep because your 2 babies are sick, you will be like, I was good.
I'm not. Well,
but I love them. I love them.
100%. 100%. Totally worth it. But again, that's why I feel like a lot of times people need to kind of reevaluate what they're spending their most time at or what they're listening to.
Yeah.
And so, again, Hollywood, Disney, social media, all this stuff going on with portraying dating to be so hard and difficult. It's actually quite simple. It's just very hard to execute it.
Yeah.
And the idea, again, is to niceness, back to kindness. I feel like his kindness is something he likes about himself.
Yeah, I think it makes you feel good, but sometimes you feel good about yourself and people take advantage. So you want to be able to be, in my opinion, not so kind. You want to be a challenge. You want people to chase you. You want to receive and not just give. That is my philosophy. So you can come on my website, French Relationship Expert. There is coachingwithandres.com. We give you some specific attention to help you.
What I would give him a little quick, little suggestion as an assignment, what I always tell my clients on the situation, do not try to readjust or change your approach of kindness to women specifically or in the dating game, because you don't know them enough. And they don't deserve that level of, if not you learning and growing. Apply it to the people in your life already. Is there people in his circle, which I'm sure there are, friends or family members who might take advantage of him? You know what I mean? In a sense where they take advantage of his not kindness. He doesn't have strong boundaries. He kind of bites his tongue, looks the other way, passive aggressive, dismissive, avoidant. Apply what you think you need to step up and speak up on, but not in a angry, aggressive way where you're now like, I'm fed up, I'm going to turn into the Joker. You know what I mean? It's more like, you know what? I used to be scared of saying my truth, but I know I need to. Because the more he can kind of become comfortable speaking his truth with his natural kindness of approach, he's never really going to offend anyone.
That's true.
So when I always have so many clients who are very empath, I was like, do you realize when you speak up, it's not like you're going to be some vulgar, obnoxious, dramatic tornado, which is happening right now. In a sense, you're not gonna be so insulting everyone. That's you speaking up, it's actually gonna be like, wow, I didn't. And you have such a kindness of ability or characteristic that people are gonna want to listen to you.
Yeah.
And so I hope he doesn't call her again.
No, he won't. I'm here on his shoulder,
to leave with her, the other ex in front of him.
Yeah, so no, I'm on his back. I won't let him contact her. I won't let him go to something toxic. But I wanted to do a topic because when I tell people being kind is not a good vision for dating, they think I'm crazy. But being kind doesn't mean, if you're not too kind, at least, it doesn't mean that you're mean or aggressive or toxic to someone, but just you know your value and you want people to come to you. I think it's important.
What do you think about killing with kindness?
What do you mean?
The saying, killing with kindness.
I don't know what does it mean.
You never heard that?
No, you need to translate to me.
Wow. All right. So I don't know exactly where it came from or originated, maybe in pop culture somewhere, but killing with kindness.
Yeah.
And the idea is, do not let someone change who you are. And so he could still stay kind of who he is.
Of course,
but he needs to say more honest things that are in his mind.
Okay. I see what you mean.
So you don't really have to do this whole U-Haul change of who you are.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of speak up, if not, turn on the lights somewhere in your system to be like, I got to say this.
I think it's a good sentence. It's a good vision.
Yeah.
And that's why I was talking to him, because being kind is a good advantage. But when you're too kind, people will take advantage of you.
100%.
And so if you don't speak up your mind, if you don't set boundaries, then you start to be someone that people will walk over. And men or women we don't want to be with a partner that we work on. We want to be with a partner in crime. We want to be with someone nice, but too nice is not sexy.
And we have to look at it where if you kind of take it to another level of this idea of kindness or being too kind, you're so, not him, but in general, people who are in this position, you're so afraid of upsetting someone that is doing something wrong to you. So you'd rather hurt yourself
Than them.
Yeah. You'd rather set yourself back than them. And you're not even trying to hurt them. You're not trying to set them back. You're just trying to be fair. Mm-hmm. You're just trying to be honest. For some reason, a lot of empaths thinking that if they're not kind, they're pushing someone down or belittling someone, or if anything, becoming their worst nightmare, someone who they've been before, like a bully to someone else.
Yeah.
And you're not. There's a very extreme, dramatic look at where someone's like, was I being mean? No, you weren't. You were being honest. Because they always are a little too kind, too nice, too weak, because they don't want to be mean. They don't want to be aggressive. They don't want to be bullyish. And you won't. But there's a big difference between bully and too kind. And let's get you right in the middle.
I think the best word, and we would conclude on this, is fair. You want to be fair. If people are respecting you, nice. If they are trying to play you, if they are not over their past, if they are manipulating you, you need to know how to close the door and walk away. That's very important.
I had a client real quick earlier this week, and she was talking about, she ended it with this guy, and I'm like, okay, time to cut him off because he's showing you so many reasons why you can't respect him or take him serious. Mm-hmm. Don't wait for him or keep him in your loop to text you or try to plead you or beg for you or say I'll change. No, you've had a whole good amount of time. Yeah. He's showing you who he is. You know what I mean? If anything, he's also offended your kids.
Yeah.
And so
because those men, they will always change after.
Yeah.
And when you come back, they will go back to their true nature, which is bad. So no, we don't want it. Thank you.
So back to that situation
Goodbye.
with her, it's like, yeah, goodbye.
Yeah.
She's not bad. I wish her the best.
She's fair.
But she's not going to respect you because you need to have more respect for yourself.
So how do they get a hold of you, the people that are listening? How to get Coach Andres in your pocket?
Go check it out, coachingwithandres.com. All my contacts are there, social media apps. I always recommend my TikTok page, Coach_Andres. And sorry, I thought about that for a second there. Coach_.
You don't know your name.
No, there's not a lot of TikTok page, but I have a lot of different things. But Coach_Andres, and come check us out.
Love it. We will see you soon, guys, for a new episode, new videos. Please leave a comment. We are here to respond to your questions, and we are here to support you. See you soon, guys.
Take care.